Hi everyone, Salesforce Admin Training Day 70. Let's go ahead and see what we are going to learn today. Today we will focus on going through the previous session and then we'll talk about the use case. Yesterday we have not seen the use case of creating the fields, only we have created the object, position object. So today we will be creating the fields as well. And we'll talk about the page layout, and then we'll talk about the schema builder, and we'll have a homework. And then we'll talk about the navigation steps to create a schema builder. What is the use case and what are the drawbacks are there if you go with the schema builder. And then we'll have a homework quiz. Then we'll talk about the field history tracking. What is that field history tracking? How can we track it? How many fields can we track it? And we'll see the today's interview question. Then we'll have a trial head. Now quickly, what did we learn yesterday?
URL, email, pick list multiple, geolocation, and phone.
Right, perfect. So these are the data types we have seen. So what are the main data types are there? 18 data types. We have seen the 18 data types. Now, after that, we have seen the use case. So the use case is creating a custom object with the name position to store all the open position job information in the object. Add the below fields to the object, and fields required is position name. So these are the fields which we have to create it. So today we will create these fields. Let's go ahead and create it. So total 14 fields we have to create it. Total 14 fields we have to create it. So let's go ahead and create. Let's go to the Salesforce. And we have to go for an object manager. In the object manager, we have created yesterday position object. Let's go to the position object. Fields and relationship. Whenever we wanted to create a fields, we have to create a fields and relationship. The first one is a position name. The first one is position name. For position name, it is automatically created when the object is created. When the object is created, it is automatically created. Next one is a location. Now location, we have a different places. Location, we have a different places. So let's go ahead and create a new one. So here we need to select the multi-pick list for the location. So where the positions are open in different places. Now here position is, name is location. Now here it is giving you two options for the pick list. It is giving two options for the pick list. Use the global pick list value, enter the values with each value separated by new value. That means either you can choose the global pick list value or else you can enter your own. Right now, I'm going to enter my own. So let's go ahead and see this. Now let's say that location is Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, right, Pune, Mumbai, Vizag. So these are the locations. These are the different locations. Now, whenever we create a field, creating a custom field can be done in two ways. Creating a custom field can be done in two ways. By using the object manager, by using the schema builder. By using the schema builder and by using the object manager. Now here, whenever I'm creating the field from the object manager, using the object manager, first we need to click on a new button on the object manager. The first step is I need to choose the field values. I need to choose the field values, like what is the field type. Step one is field type. Now select the field data type from the list, example text or pick list. So you have to choose the field data type. Now the next one is click on next button. Click on next button. Once you have chosen the field data type, click on next button. Once you click on a next button, enter the details. Like what are the details you are going to enter? Field label, field name, description, help text. These are the fields. These are the fields we can enter, right? Along with this required checkbox. Along with this required checkbox, like that, we can create it. Now here, select the required setting based on the field. Right, what are the required field is the required setting based on the need. Now example, required checkbox and checkboxes. Now click on the next button. Once you click on the next button, you will follow the step 3. Step 3 is you will establish the field level security. What is the field level security? Is it required? Step 3 is field level security. Step 1, step 2. Step 1 is a choose a field type. Step 2 is where you are entering the data. Step 3 is where you are choosing the selecting the security. In the selecting the security, there are two options are there. Select the visible checkbox to make the field to be visible to all the profile users. Whatever the profile users are there, for everything you can select it. Or else you can just select the read only. Click on a next button. Once you click on the next button, the last step, this is the last step, step 4. Step 4 is, it is going to ask you that, do you want to add this into the page layout? That means, as soon as the field is created, do you want user to see this field on the user layout? What are the user UI is there? Do you want the user to see this? If you say yeah, add page layout, then it is going to add the page layout. Make the field should be visible on the page layout. That means as soon as the field is created, then make that field is visible on the page layout user interface. Click on a next button and then you will have a save. It will add new fields to the object and will represent the field on the user interface and will prepare the business logic accordingly. So these are the 4 steps which you have to do. Right now we are in first step. Step 1 is done. I have chosen the data type, pick list data type. Now second step is I need to enter the details. I need to enter the details. Now here I have taken the field label is location. Now values are, I'm entering here the values, each value separated in new line, right? So I'm not putting any comma here, not even anything I'm not putting. Just I separated with the values, right? So how many can I enter? Maximum we can enter up to 2000, but 1000 is maximum. 2000 you can enter the data, right? So yeah, 300 is the one limit, it will give that. But in some cases, the default single select pick list value limit is 1000, right? In the unlimited, it can go to the 1000 maybe. So sometimes in the real time, we might have to enter 1000 pick list values, but maximum it will go for 300. In the developer edition, it will go for 300. So 500 pick list values, you can create it 500 up to 500 pick list global values. Now, if you are going with the global values, right? So let's take an example here. Now, in case if you are going with the global pick list, okay, global pick list. Now, if you are creating the global pick list values, in case if you are creating the global pick list values, you can create a global pick list values up to 500, up to 500 global pick list you can create it. If you are going with the pick list field, if you are going with normal pick list field, right? How many pick list fields can I create it? Let's go to the object limit. No, it doesn't say. So pick list fields, we can create it up to 300. But how many values can I enter within the pick list? How many values can I enter? Now, if I'm choosing here pick list, how many pick lists can I create it? How many pick lists I can create? Global is 500, you can create it. If it is a pick list, 300, you can create it. But as soon as you have selected this, how many values can I enter here? How many values can I enter here? Can I enter 300 or can I enter more than that? Values, how many values can I enter? 300 or more than that? How many values can I enter? More than that. So values you can enter, maximum is 3000. Sorry, 1000. Let me give you that. Global pick list, you can create it 500 global pick list. Global pick list 500 record 500 fields you can create it. 500 global pick list fields you can create it, right? If you are going with the pick list you can create it 300 pick list field, 300 pick list fields. Now, in case now, but the question is how many pick list values are allowed? How many pick list values are allowed in Salesforce? Now, for this question, we have to say that in some cases, the default, we have a single pick list, single select pick list and multi-select pick list, right? So if it is a single select pick list, value limit is 1000, right? But it may not meet your organization. Salesforce support can assist increasing the, in case if it does not meet, like for example, you have a more than 1000. You, for example, you have a requirement where you need to create a 2500 records or a 2000 records. You need to create a 2000 values, you need to add it. 2000 values, you need to add it. So what you need to do is you can raise a request to the Salesforce support. Salesforce support, you can raise it so that they can increase it to maximum 2000. But by default, it is 1000 in the real time. So for whatever I have worked on, maximum I went to this 500, not more than that. Maximum values that I have entered 500, not more than that. So 1000 values are more than enough. That means 1000 values I can add it here. Like this, I can add 1000 values. I can add up to 1000 values. So you can keep on adding. Maximum in the real time, you can enter up to 300. Up to, in the real time, we maximum go for a 300 to 500. We will not go to above 300 or above 500. We cannot do that, right? So values you can enter, the limit itself is 1000. In case if it is not meeting your requirement for these values, then you can request a Salesforce support to increase it. They can increase it to another 1000. So what they will do is, as 1000 is already there, so they will add another 1000 to this. So total 2000 values you can add it into the pick list. 2000 values you can add into the pick list. 2000 you can add into the pick list. Right, so let's go ahead and create it. So the first one is a location. Yes, it will count the space also. So let's go ahead and create the location. Location. So it is a multi-pick list. Yeah, multi-pick list. Now here I need to select the Hyderabad. Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai, Vizag, right? Now, these are the places. These are the places. Delhi. So these are the places I'm giving it. And here the next step is in the pick list, it is saying that display values alphabetically, not in the order. That means if this is not in the order, if you want to display this pick list values in the alphabetical order. So I'll say that yes, display these pick list values in the alphabetic order. Now, use first value as a default value. Now, I do not want to go for this right now. And next one is multi-select pick list are displayed in the scrolling bar. How many pick list values you wanted to show? So 4 is the maximum I wanted to show. Description. Description is this field helps to this field capture the position location or location of position. Now help text you can give here, select the location, required, if you say yes, required. Now default, if you want anything default value to be there. Now this is the step 2. Now in the step 2, we are done all the capturing all the details. Now here, click on a next. Once we click on a next, the next one is, it is asking the field level security. What is the field level security? Location, pick list, multi-select, field name is location, right? Now here, visible for everybody, Now, multi-pick list, you cannot remove the visible. By default, it is available for everybody. Multi-select is, you cannot remove the visible. Multi-select is, by default, it is going to available for everybody. Now you cannot edit this. Multi-select you cannot edit. And even read-only also you cannot make it. Basically, multi-select is not editable field. By default, whenever you create a multi-select pick list field, it is going to enable for everybody, and every profile can access this multi-select pick list field. Every profile can access this multi-select pick list field, and then you can click on a next button. Click on a next button and then click on a save. Click on save. Now, one field is created, which is a location. Here it says that pick list field. All right. So next one, let's go ahead and create a next one. Number of vacancies. How many vacancies we have it? So for that, we need a data type which is called as a number. So let's take the number data type here. Click on a next. Now the next field is number of vacancies. Now here length is 18. Now instead of that, number of vacancies will be always in the integer. It won't be in the decimal format. So that's the reason I'm giving the decimal places is 0. Decimal places is 0. Now here, description, you can mention the description to capture the number of vacancies. To capture the number of vacancies required, let's make it as a required. We need to know this. Unique, do not allow the duplicate values. Unique, do not allow the duplicate values. That means here, every time whenever I create a record, it has to be unique. But number of vacancies cannot be unique, right? If I'm opening the two positions, one is a Salesforce position, one is a JavaScript position. One is Salesforce position. Another one is JavaScript position. But it is possible that both the position, I can have number of vacancies is 4. Here I need a 4, here also 4. So I cannot make the number of vacancies wherever this particular field is there. This field I cannot make it as a unique, but because it is possible that 2 records can have a same number of positions can open. External ID, it's not an external ID. Now click on a next field. When we click on a next field, now here number of vacancies also whenever we are creating it, you cannot edit the number field. You cannot edit number field. It is visible, read only. It is visible and read only. Now, so here we have a number of vacancies visible. Here it is a visible and read only. You cannot make the read only. By default, it is going to show you as a read only. So we have seen read only. Now, yesterday I covered that global picked list. So if you have not gone to the yesterday session, please go through the yesterday session. Now, number of vacancies, the number of vacancies are, I am creating this field. So here it is a visible, right? Here it is a visible. I cannot edit this. So number field also not editable while creating the field. Click on a next button. Now it is asking the last step is, do you want to add to this page layout? If I say yes, then it will add it. Click on a save button. Now the second field is also created, number of vacancies. Wherever the space is there, that space is replaced with underscore. Here we have given a number of vacancies, but how it is converted the API field name, number underscore of underscore vacancies underscore C, right? So this is wherever the space is there, it is replaced with underscore and postfix is underscore C. Postfix is underscore C. Now this is the second field. Now third field I need to create is position status. Position status. So status will be sometimes it is a new, hold, in progress, right? But at a time I can select only one pick list value. At a time I can select only one pick list value. So click on it, select a pick list. I'm selecting here pick list. Right click on it next. Now this is position status. Position status. For position status, I'm going to enter the values here. Click on new, in progress, in progress, in progress, and then on hold, reopen, closed. These are the fields which are available. Now I'll click on this is yes, it is required. Click on next. Now position status by default, it is visible to everybody. Whenever you are creating the fields from the object manager, the field level security is by default, it is given to everyone. Now here position status, I did not give the space. So it is directly taking the position status underscore C, right? Now if you want to modify anything after creating it, now you forgot to add a space. Can I modify it? Can I modify it? So click on a edit option. Now you can add here space. When you add a space, it is going to warn you if you are modifying anything. It is going to warn saying that be careful when you are changing the label, it might affect the existing margin template. And that means if you are creating the field, so position status. So position status is field label. So here, in case whenever you are creating a field, so for example, right now I have created a field. Now I can go ahead and modify the field edit. I can make it. I can make the edit right now. But after 3 months or after couple of days, if you are trying to modify it, do not modify the field name. Do not modify the field name. If you want to modify the label, you can make a changes in the label, but do not change the field name. Do not change it. Because the reason is whenever you are changing the field name, whenever you are changing the field name, it is going to impact the existing one. So there is a possibility that you have implemented a field, but after that, there is a business logic which is implemented by multiple developers. There are few developers which already have implemented the logic based on the position status. Now, if you change a field name here, if you change it, for example, I say here, I'll change it. Now, let me edit. Now, if I change a field name, before it was, what was it is field name? Field name is nothing but a API name. Before it was position status underscore C. Now, if I click on edit, now if I try to change this, now if I try to change this, now I'll add here underscore, click on save. So what will happen? Now you are changing the field name. Because of this, whoever is written the logic, whoever is written the logic by looking at the field name as a position status underscore C. Now somebody has written this, right? This was earlier API name. Now you have changed this to the position underscore status underscore C. You have changed it to this position status underscore C. But the problem here is the developer has already implemented the business logic. They have already written the Apex classes. They have already written the LWC, right? So many places this field is report. Now, whenever you are changing this, just you are putting a underscore, but it might impact the different places, wherever the places this field is referred, those all places the logic gets impacted. It will impact the Apex, it will impact the Lightning, it will impact the Lightning flow. So it will impact the validation rule, it will impact the workflows, whatever the places it is report this, that means entire system is going to break. The functionality itself is going to break if you change it. Now, what is the way of changing it? Now, you need to inform everybody that as per the client requirement, if you do not have a client requirement, do not touch this. As per the client requirement or as per the architect decision, we are changing the position status underscore to this value. Now, when you change it, before changing, you need to see this field is which all are the places it is used, which all are places it is used. This field is which all are places it is used. How will you know that this field is used in which all are places? Go to that particular field and see here where is this used. There is a one box is there, one button is available. That button is where is this used? Where is this used? Now here click on this where is this used, so that you will see the different places which are the places it is used. Now you might not see, there are some here it is going to show only the one which are related to the Apex. It will show only related to the Apex, right? So only related to, it might show only Apex. It might not show the Lightning Aura. It might not show the LWC. It might not show the LWC. It might not show the flows, right? So here you might see the Apex and flows. Sometimes it might show the flows also. So you can see here which other places it is used. So half of the thing you can identify from by clicking on this. Where is this used? It will show the Apex, validation rules, workflows. This might be showing here, right? So you can, if you click on this, it will show what are the places. This field is referenced in which all are places. This field is referenced in which all are places. So first look at that. First identify it, how much effort you are going to put it. That means whenever you are making a change of the field name, whenever you are making the change of the field name, or a field name, then what will happen is first you need to understand, if I change from the space to underscore or underscore to something else. If I change here field name, now you need to see that which all are places it should be reflected. That means how many classes I need to check it. Not only modifying it, you have to do the retesting again. You need to do the, because you are changing the functionality there. You are changing the, because you are modifying the field here, the functionality is breaked. Now you are updating all the different places in order to work the functionality. So once this is done, then this functionality has to be retested again. This functionality has to be retested again, because though you are modifying only the small piece of it, small field name, but this functionality has to be again retested. Again, it has to be retested. So initial levels, you can modify it, because if there is a no data. Right now, if I go here and if I click on where is this used, I can see only it is layout. It is not used anywhere. So I can modify this. But if you see that Apex business classes are used, then in that case, you have to, don't touch this. Okay, do not touch this. If you feel that it is not used anywhere and there is a no impact on any functionality, then do not touch that, because either you inform everybody in the team that you are making these changes, or else in the daily stand-up you have to update it. So this is the changes that you are going to make it. Clear? So that is the position status. And next field is open date. Open date, when the position is getting open. So for that, data type is a date. Click on a next button. Now here I have it open date. Open date. Open date. Now this is a position starting date. Position starting date. And required, yes, it is required. Click on next. Now date field does not have anything. Default value, those all things are not there. Now if I go to the previous, it just has a field label, name, description, help text, required, default value. But it does not have auto populate in the like a different options, it does not have, right? So click on a next button. Now it is visible to everybody. Click on a next and save. Now again I need to create a one more field. So instead of clicking on a save, what I'll do is I'll click on a save and new. Save and new. Click on a save and new. The next one is a milestone date. Milestone date, I'll create it as a date. Choose it as a date. Milestone is date. Date is basically milestone date is also a date when it is going to end. So milestone date. So here it is also required when this position is in position end date. Position end date, click on a next. Now milestone date, click on a next. After that, we have to create a one more field, which is a minimum pay, which is minimum pay. Now minimum pay is a currency. Let's go ahead and select the currency. Now click on currency and then click on next one. Now here it is a minimum pay. Minimum pay. Let's say that maximum digits are 7 or maximum digits are 5 and here decimals are 2. Total 7 digits. Now help text. This is a minimum salary. Minimum salary. Required. Let's minimum salary is not required. So click on it. Next. Now currency has the option enabled. You can edit. That means who all are the they can see. Now system 5, I do not want this field to be visible. System 4, I do not want this field to be visible. System 3, system 2, system 1, this field should not be visible. Now I can remove the visible option. And let's say that solution manager should be read only. So standard platform user should be read only, right? So that means they should not be entering the data. So it should be read only. Click on next button. Add to the page layout, click on save and new. Click on save and new. Now the next one is a maximum budget. Maximum budget is also a currency. This is also currency. Let's click on this next button, maximum budget. Maximum budget. Maximum budget also I'll say here 5 and then decimal digits is 2. Now click on it. Next button. This is the, let's write the highest salary. Highest salary. Now this is a required because we cannot go beyond that. So click on it. Next button. Now let's say here, this is also available. Now let's click on this next. Now by default, I'm adding here, click on it, save and new. And the next one is HR related, HR email ID. So I'll choose the email ID, click on next button. Now here, I'll say HR email ID. Now this is also mandatory required field and it has to be unique. Every record should have a different HR email ID. Sometimes it is possible that same HR person is maintaining the multiple positions, right? So multiple recruitment, they are handling it. So that's the reason I have unchecked it. Click on it, next button. Now here it is saying that select the profile to which you want to grant the edit access to field level. This field will be hidden from all the profiles if you do not add the field level security, right? So by default, it is on. Click on the next button and save and new. Again, one more HR contact number. Let's take it as a phone. So HR contact number, click on the next button. This is HR contact number. HR contact number. Now it's a required. Let's make it as a required. And let's say next. And click on it next, save and new. And the next one is passport required. Passport required is a checkbox whether the passport is available with the candidate or not. So checkbox, I'll say here passport required. So whenever the position is I'm opening it, I'll say that for this position passport is required. For this position passport is required. So by default I'll do uncheck and click on the next button. Click on next and then click on save and new. And another field data type is checkbox, that is for the travel required. For this position, whether travel is required or not. So I'll be specifying it, travel required. Travel required. Now here, I'll be making the changes like unchecked and click on this next. Now click on the next, save and new. Next one is a description. For the description, I'm going to add text area long. Text area long. Click on the next button. Now here text area long is position description. Position description. Now here for this, it is a text area long and this much. In case if you want the full length, you can choose the full length also. Let's say I'm selecting the full. Now here, Click on a next button. Now click on it. Next. Step 4 is adding to the page layout. Click on a save and new. Now, what is the skills that are required? Skills that are required is, I'll take it as a text or a text area. Let's take it as a text area and click on next button. And the field name is skills required. Skills required. And then I'll say here it is a required field and click on a next button. Click on a next button and save. Now we are done with the creating a field in the position. We are done with creating the field in position. Now let me go back to the user interface. That means tab. So let me go back to the user interface. Now if I go to the object positions, now I'll click on a new button here. When I click on a new button, what happened? Everything is displaying a line by line. All the fields are displaying line by line. Actually, this is a 2-column. This is a 2-column page layout. Here is a 1 column and this side is another column. 2-column page layout, right? But what is happened here? All the fields are displaying only in the first column. It is not displaying in the second column. It is not displaying in the second column. All the fields, whatever you see, everything is displaying in first column. That means by default, whenever we add a field to the page layout, to the object manager, whenever we create a field, and if you say that add this field to the page layout, add this field to the page layout, then what will happen? It will add to the page layout, but it is going to display everything in a single column. Now you need to go ahead and adjust this page layout, right? This is not a good user interface. This is not good user interface because the second column is shows as a empty. Second column is shows as a empty. Now we have to make a changes to the page layout. This is the page layout. This is called page layout. By default, whenever the object is created, page layout is also created by Salesforce. So Salesforce has created a page layout and this is the one page layout. This is one page layout. And for this page layout, whenever we create a field and add it to the page layout, what it does is basically it will everything added to the single column within the page layout. It is added to the single column within the page layout. Now we will see how to adjust the page layout, where should we go ahead, what is the page layout, we'll understand. Before that, let's take a homework. Homework is create a custom object, customer demographics. Custom object is customer demographics with the below required fields. And customize the layout as per the below mockup screen. So the data model is you need to create a object is called as a customer demographics and the field name, first field name is a customer demographic details. So it is not a field. The first one is not a field. It is basically I'm saying that detail section. In the detail section, you need to create a first name. First name is the field. Data entry, that means user has to enter the data here, which is a mandatory. Last name, user has to enter the data and it is mandatory. Date of birth, date of birth is also another field. Now you have to create a date of birth. Data entry is, that means user has to enter the data and mandatory field. Now gender is, it's not a data entry, basically user need not to enter that. It's a pick list. Let's take it as a pick list. Yes or no, or a female, male, right? So gender, create it as a pick list. and it is a mandate. Residence address. Residence address is nothing but address details. What is the temporary address? Wherever the person is saying that the temporary address you need to create it, and then permanent address also you need to create it. What is the data type? Will you take it for the address? What is the data type? Will you take it for the address? What is the data type you go for an address?
Text area.
Text area. Right. And the next one is temporary address. Temporary address. There is a residence address, permanent address, and the temporary address. Right. So here temporary address. Temporary address is data entry. Yes. And then it's not mandatory. That means user has to enter the temporary address. Now here out of these three address, only the residence address is mandatory. Rest to address, whatever is there, permanent address and a temporary address, these are not mandatory. And then number of years in the current residency address. How long the person is staying in the current address? How long the person is staying in the current address? It has to be pick list 1 to 10. 1 to 10, maximum 10. Create a pick list 1 to 10 and maximum is 10. You cannot add more than 10. Now here mandatory, yes, residency number. There should be some number for the residency. Data has to be entered by the user and it is mandatory field. Mobile number, yes, it has to be entered by the user. Mobile number, it's not a mandatory field. Next one is a residence owner or rented, right? So is it a owned house or is it a rented house, right? It has to be pick list. Owned or rented, it's not a mandatory. Nationality, data enter, and it is not mandatory. PAN number or SSN number or a national identify number, whatever the number is there, so they need to enter the data here, which is not mandatory. Which is not mandatory. Everybody has taken the notes. Now, next one is in the same object, you need to create a occupation type. Occupation type, it has to be pick list. The occupation type is profession, salaried, right? Business, student. These are the things which we have to create that. Pick list values are profession, salaried, business, student. Employee sector. Next one is a employee sector. It has to be pick list field. What is the employee sector? Banking, finance, insurance, manufacturing, education, technology, chemical, other. Whether the person is employment, if he is employment, then he has to go for select one of the employee selector. If there is nothing is there, then you select the other. It has to be mandatory. Company name is the another field. It should be data entry. And here mandatory field is yes. Office address, data entry, the user has to enter the office address. It's not mandatory. And designation, user has to enter what are their designation in the company. And it is not mandatory. Number of years in the current employee, how long you are working in the current organization. It has to be data entry, but need not to be. It's not a mandatory. It's not mandatory. Yes, everything on the custom object, the one which I have mentioned in the starting. And the next one is number of dependent. Number of dependent. Data has to be entered. How many members are dependent on this person? So that is mandatory field. Number of dependent with relationship details. Now you need to enter like how many are there actual with the relationship, right? So it's one member or a two members or it is a mandatory field. It is mandatory field. So these are the fields you need to create it inside the object called custom demographics. Inside the object called custom demographics. Is everybody noted? Okay. So let's move on. These are the trial head links. These are trial head links. Let me ping you the trial head links. Now, these are the trial head links. Practice that links also. Now, before going to the page layout, what we will do is we will create another field which is called as a geolocation. Now click on a next button here. Now here, let's say that this is a geolocation, interview location. Interview location. Now here it says that degree, minutes, seconds, decimals, whatever is there, right? So decimal places. Do you want to add a decimal places? Number of digits, the right of the decimal point. How many you wanted to add? Let's say 2. Now click on a next button. Now click on next button. Now here interview location, geolocation, interview location. By default, it is visible to everybody. Now click on a next button and then click on a save. Now you can add like this the geolocations also. For us, it is an interview location. Where is the interview location? This is the geolocation. Till this part, is everybody clear? We have not covered the formula field. I did not give that. So yesterday only I mentioned that whatever the above options are there, these options I'm not covering on top. Yesterday I said these options, whatever these options are there, these options I'm not covering right now. But I'm hearing the questions from this here. So I'm for this, we need to understand few more things. Then only I'm going to cover this click list data types fields.
Ma'am, just you have created geolocation. Show me in front end.
Okay, so field creation also I cannot show here. So Sunil, the field location is also I cannot show. Just a second. Geolocation, let me show you that. Cancel it. So go ahead. Let me open the geolocation. Click on this interview location. Now click on the edit. Now initially I have chosen the field label. Data type is a geolocation. Now here I have chosen the option degree, minutes and seconds, and decimal places is Any specific questions in the geolocation? Okay. Let's see. Now, these are the fields which we have created. Now, whenever I'm creating the new record, all the fields I'm able to see in the first column. I'm not able to see in the second column. So what we have to do is we need to understand the page layout. We need to understand the page layout. Now, page layout is basically the page layout is what is the page layout? Why do we need a page layout? Why do we need a page layout? So page layouts provides the graphical user interface, the collection of graphical user interface. If the user has to enter the data in the fields, then it has to be somewhere we need to show the all the details, right? So all the details are showed in the page layout. So basically, this is a graphical user interface that needs to be used to manage the records inside the associated object. Now, by using this page layout, we can perform all the DML operations on the object record. For example, insert, update, delete, or view, undelete, whatever is there, everything we can do this. Everything we can do this. So for example, if I'm created the new one, now if I click on here, new button, I can perform the insert here. I can perform save, I can cancel it, save and new, right? Different options. That means all the DML options we can perform it. All the DML options we can perform it. Now here, upon creating the custom object by default, Salesforce provides the separate page layout as below. That means for every object, whether it is a standard object or a custom object, if it is a standard object. Now, for example, it is a standard object. Account. Whenever the account object is created by the Salesforce, like a org is created, by default, it is going to give us the account layout. For the contact, it will give us the contact layout. Similarly, for the position object, whenever we create a position object, by default, Salesforce is created the page layout called position layout. Position layout. So the layouts are, the default layouts are, layout name is, what are the Salesforce is creating? The layout names are, the first half is going to explain about your object. Whatever the object is there, the first word is going to tell us this object, and then layout. So Salesforce always creates a page layout. Whatever the object name is there, that object name, and then it will add the word called layout. It will add the word called layout. That means position layout, account layout, contact layout, hospital layout, customer layout, whatever your object name is there, vehicle layout, that object name, and then it will add the layout to that. Layout to that. Now, page layout. The Salesforce developer or an admin can create an additional page layout for the object based on the business requirement. Now, Salesforce is already giving a layout. Salesforce is already providing the layout. Apart from that, in case if the admin or if the developer wants to create a new layout, they can create it. They can create a new layout. How can they create a new layout? The navigation steps are, go to the object manager, click on the specific object, choose the object example position, click on the position layout, there is a page layout option is there in the left panel. Click on that page layout and then click on the view default page layout. What are the view default page layout is there? Click on that and then click on a new button. Click on the existing page layout. So whenever you are creating a new page layout, whenever you are creating a new page layout, now that new page layout, whenever we are creating a new page layout, we have to always choose the existing page layout. You cannot create a page layout from the scratch. You cannot create a page layout from the scratch. You have to choose the existing page layout, then create a new page layout. Then enter the new page layout name and then click on a save button. Click on save button. Once you click on a save button, this is how it will be visible. This is how it will be visible. Now here, this screen is called as a page layout screen. Page layout edit customization screen. Now in this screen, you have a left side where you can see different options are there. Where you can see different options are there. One is a fields. What are the fields that you wanted to enter? What are the fields that you wanted to choose it in the page layout? Basically, this page layout section is divided into two sections. One is the left one, another one is the right. Based on the selection of left side option, the right side will be reflected. If you select a fields, all the fields will be displayed here. If you select a buttons, all the buttons are displayed here. If you select a quick action, all the quick action should be displayed here. If you select a mobile and lightning action, it will display the mobile and lightning action. If you select a related list, it is going to display the related list. If you select the report charts, then it is going to display the report charts related. Right? So now let me go ahead and create a one page. Now for this position, we have a option called here page layout. Right here is the option which is available, the page layout. Page layout is nothing but we have not reached to that point. Okay, geolocation, whoever is trying that, we have not reached to that point. Do not try anything, just focus on whatever I'm teaching. Okay, now position, in the position we have a page layout. One of the option is available, page layout. Here we have a page layout. So this page layout, you need to choose it. You need to choose the page layout here. Select here the page layout. When you click on the page layout, by default, Salesforce is providing the page layout, standard page layout, right? So if you open this page layout, what will happen is it is going to show this entire screen. It is going to show this entire screen. Now here, there are two, this one is page layout is divided into two sections here. One is this one, another one is this section, right? So the first left side one is, if you select here fields, it is going to display the fields here. If I select a buttons, it is going to display the buttons. If I select the quick action, it is going to show the quick action details. If I click on the mobile and lightning action, it is going to display the mobile and lightning. If I click on the related list, it will show the related list. So that means based on the left side selection, what it does is it is going to reflect the right side. Now, the first thing is that I wanted to arrange the fields. So when I select the fields, this field is updated here. Now, all the fields, whatever you see here, it is grayed out. That means whenever you see these fields are grayed out, means these fields are already available on the page layout. These fields are already available in the page layout. In case if it is not available in the page layout, if this field is not available in the page layout, if I'm moving back to one field, see here it is showing as a enable. It is showing as a enabled field. Now, as soon as I drag it, it will be grayed out. Now, here we have it. If it is showing as a grayed out, that means these fields are already available on the layout. These fields are already available in the layout. Now here we have a position name, location, number of vacancies, position status, minimum pay, open date, milestone, these all it is displaying it. Now, is it a good user interface? No, it is not a good user interface. It is not good user interface. Because here does not give me the clarity that what is the updates, what is the details that I need to enter. Everything is combined together. Everything is combined together. Now here, let's go ahead and modify it. Now, first thing what I'll do is, now let me arrange it. So we have a position, location, number of vacancies, right? Passport required. Now I'll do here. I'll add a one section. Here I have a one section which is called as the information section, right? We have a information section. Now if I click on a new, it says it is information section. It is information section. Like this, I'm going to create a multiple sections. Like this, I'm going to create a multiple sections. So how to create a section? Select this. Here you have an option section. So drag it and place it here. Now this I'll say here travel. This I'll say here travel information. Travel information. 2 column, click on OK. Now travel information separate section is created. Now what I'll do is, what are the travel relateds are there? I'm going to place those fields in the travel information. Travel information, I'm going to place it. So here position required, here it is a travel is required. Now is there anything that are needed in the travel? No, it is not required. Next section is HR information. Next one is HR information. Now whenever I'm creating the page, this section in the page layout, observe this, it is giving me the few options here. Detail page, edit page. Now that means, do you want to show this section into the edit page? That means whenever you click on a new button or whenever you click on a edit button on the record, whenever you click on the edit button, if you want the edit button to be displayed in the edit, if you want this section to be displayed, then check this. If you do not want this section to be displayed on the edit page, then you uncheck this. Now I'll show you that. First, let's check this. That is one. And the next one is a layout. Next one is a layout. So layout is you have a first column and the second column. 1 column layout and 2 column layout. 1 column layout and 2 column layout. So you have a 2 options. Do you want to display the page layout just in a 1 column? If it is a 1 column, you will not have any other options. If it is a 2 column, what is the way that you wanted to go? Like if you use a tab, like for example, if I use a tab here, right? If I use a tab, where it should go, how it should go. If it is a 1 column, it will go step by step. If I use a tab, it will go step by step, right? It will go step by step. But if it is a 2 column, how you want the tab to be shifted? You want You want in the Z format, that means 1, 2, 3, 4. Or else you want a N format. If you want the reverse of N format, 1 and then go down and then go to the 3 and then go down to the 4. So which are the format you want? So I said here left to right. Either if you want a top to down, then you can choose the top to down. So I have chosen the left to right. Click on OK. Click on OK. HR information. I need a HR email ID, HR contact number. HR contact number. Now that is done. The next one is I'm going to display salary details. So create a new section here. Salary details. Salary details. Now click on OK to column. Now in the salary, I'll say here maximum budget. And then we have a minimum pay, Also, I'll say position start date. I'll put it as a position start date also here in the details, and then milestone right here. Let's say that instead of salary details, I'll say that candidate details. Let's say candidate details, right? So here I'll put it as a candidate, otherwise let's keep it as a salary details only. And what else we have? We have a position description, skills, interview location, right? These all are there. Now location, I'll keep it on the top itself. Now here number of vacations, locations, position status, I'll put it here. And then I'll add one more section which is called as a description. One more section, I'll add it as a description. In the description, I'm going to place here skills required, and then I'll say here position description. Now these are the very lengthy information. So what I'll do is I'll click on this. After adding the section, in case if you wanted to modify it, just click on this, edit the here there is some icon is available. Just click on this icon. So if you click on this icon, now you can say here instead of 2 columns, I wanted to go for 1 column. Click on OK. Right, this is the 1 column. In case if you wanted to delete the fields, you can click on this remove field. On the field, you have a remove field. Just click on this remove field. Remove field. Now here position, interview location, number of this is fine. Now click on this save button. Click on save button. Now this is existing one, I have modified it. In case if you want to create a new one, you can create a new one. But let me show you first here whatever we have updated. Let's click on a refresh button. So like this it is created. Number of vacancies, here the location, interview location, position status, and then longitude, interview location, latitude and longitude, we have it, 2 values. And the next one is HR information, salary details, travel information, description. These all are visible. Now, in case if you wanted to modify this, in case if you want to modify this layout, it's not a, okay, this is a good one, but I wanted to modify more. Now, in that case, what I'll do is I'll create a new page layout. I'll create a new page layout. Here, I'm clicking on the new page layout. When I click on a new page layout, I cannot create the here. It is not good idea to create a page layout from the scratch. Better choose the existing one. Better choose the existing one. Now here I'll say that custom position layout. Custom position layout. Custom position layout. Click on a save button. Click on save button. Now here, what it is happened, it is use the everything existing one. Now, by default, it is showing these options here. What are the options that are available in the previous one? We can see those details here. Now, what I can see is, now here the location, I'll place it at the bottom. Position, I'll place it at the bottom. Now, this is the location. Perfect. Or else I'll place it here, the location. And then here, number of vacancies. Right. Position. Now let me place everything this side and then location this side. No, it won't be good. Look good. It is going to take a lot of space here. Number of locations. Right. So let it be there, this one, and then, for example, let's say that I want this travel one. Travel information, I'll remove it. After removing it, by default, by mistakenly, I did click on this. By mistakenly, I clicked on remove. By mistakenly, I have removed the travel information. Now, how can I add it back? Here we have an option called undo. If you do undo, the travel information is going to display. The travel information is going to display. Now, for this travel information, if you click on a setup icon, let's say that I do not want to show this in the edit page. I do not want to show this in the edit page. Let's click on a save. Now I have saved this. Now I have created a new custom position layout. New custom position layout. I remove the travel information. Now, as soon as you create a custom layout here, as soon as you create a custom layout, so as soon as I create a custom field, now will I be able to see the custom field, the custom page layout here? Here we have I can click on a new button. Is it displaying? I did a changes here, right? It is not displaying. It is not displaying here. Now right click on this, inspect, and then refresh, empty refresh. So I'm doing the hard reload. So I'll click on a new button here now. So what are the new one which I have created? Is it reflecting here? What are the new custom page layout which I have created? Is it reflected here? No, it is not reflecting it. It is not reflecting it. Now, how can we make a changes? We just created a custom page layout, but I did not assign that. I just created a custom page layout, but it did not assign. In order to assign that, click on this page layout assignment. Click on this page layout assignment. In the page layout assignment, now you will see everyone has a position layout. Everyone has position layout. Now you wanted to change this. Now click on this edit assignment. In the edit assignment, for the system admin, for the system administrator, now here you have a system administrator. For the system administrator, what I want is, instead of the position, I want the custom one. Here I'm selecting the custom page layout. Now here when I select the custom page layout, it is saying that your page layout is updated to the custom position layout. Click on save. That means what I am doing it, I have a multiple page layouts. When I have a multiple page layout, it is possible in the real time you will have a multiple page layout. In the real time, it is possible that you have a multiple page layout. When you have a multiple page layouts, you need to assign each profile should contain the one page layout. For example, support team might want to see a different layout, right? Sales profile want to see the separate page layout, right? So the partner community user want to see the separate layout, right? So system one want to see the separate layout. So in that case, we will create a multiple page layout and we will assign the page layout by clicking on here, edit assignment. By clicking on this, we will assign the custom page layout here. Now, once it is assigned the custom page layout, now let's go back to the page layout here. Now it says that, now again I'll click on the page layout assignment. When I click on the page layout assignment, now I can see that system administrator has a custom page layout. Now let's go ahead and refresh this. Let's do the hard refresh. Now let's click on the hard refresh. Once I click on the hard refresh, let's go ahead and click on the new button. Now if I click on a new button, now still it is not able to see. But if I go to the classic, now if I go to the classic, switch to the classic. Now let me go to that particular, no, it's not, there is no record. Now let me go to the positions. In the positions, if I click on a new button, now I can see here number of vacancies, location, all these things are coming here, right? I cannot see the travel information here. Can I see the travel information? I cannot see the travel information. What is the reason for that? Now here for this custom page layout, if you click on edit or open that custom page layout, now here you have a travel information, but what did you say here? Remove it from the edit page. If you say yes, you will be able to see. Now here this blue dot is nothing but always show on the layout. These fields always show on the layout. That means always on layout. Wherever you see the blue one, so basically the blue ones are available only for the required fields. Blue ones will be available only for the required fields. That you cannot click on that blue icon here. You cannot click on the blue icon. So it is just a symbol there. The symbol, it says that always on layout. Now wherever the icon it says that lock, it is basically you cannot edit. Wherever the icon it says lock, you cannot edit those fields. Now what I have done is travel information, I have opened it. I said travel information, show it for the edit page. Cancel. Now let's refresh here. Now it should show the travel information. Now it should show the travel information. Now let me refresh again. Did I save? I did not save it. Click on save. Now again refresh it. Now I can see travel information. I can see the travel information. Now this color, how it is coming this color, whatever the color is there, the pink color, whatever it is there, how it is coming. No, it's not a custom page layout. I did not select anything for the custom page layout. Did I mention anything color in the custom page layout? Now here, nothing is there. I have not mentioned anything, right? I have not mentioned anything. But here the thin line is there. How it is coming this? This is basically, it is saying that so here, when we go to the setup, in the setup, when you created a tab, let me go to the position. Where is the position here? Now here position. Now do you see position? What is the color it is there? Right? The same color that comes to the new one. Now whatever the tab color is there, the same color will be there for entire page. So how this color came for the tab? How this color came into the tab? Now let me put that position. Now how this color came to the position? Because whenever you create a tab, you choose an icon, right? You choose an icon. So the tab here, click on the tab. Now you have a position. What is the color you have chosen it here? The pink building color, whatever the color it is there, the same color will be applied to the position. The same color will be applied to the position. Now, this is the reflected. Let me switch to the lightning, switch to lightning. When I click on it, switch to lightning. Now here we have a position, click on a new button. But in the lightning, I'm not able to see that one, right? So here, location should come below. Location should come below. Now I'll show you this screen. Let me take a snipping of this. Now here you have a position here. These are the fields which are available. But if I go to the custom page layout, now this is a custom position. What it is saying that number of vacations. Number of vacations. Now do I have a number of vacancies? Number of vacancies should be displayed above the location. Number of vacancies should be displayed above the vacancies, above the location. Right, location, number of vacancies should come here, and then position status should go here, and then interview location. Like this, it should be displayed. Right, if I change here, and this is also, I can change it, click on the same. Now, is it reflecting in the lightning? It's not reflecting in the lightning. Now, what is the problem here? Now it is reflected. It takes some time. It takes some time, but it will be reflected. I'll change it again. Let's go to the custom page layout. Let me move the position status and click on save. Now, in case if it doesn't change, there is another option which is available. We will see that. But it definitely takes some time. It definitely takes some time. Click on a new button. Inspect, right click, empty. Now click on a new. Still it is not taken, that's okay. So now I'm going to enter position details, okay. I'll just enter the position details. I'll not enter the interview location. Interview location we'll discuss later. Now I'm going to enter the position name. Because I wanted to show you the layout, different way of modifying the layout. Now that layout I can make it only when I have a record. So let's create a position here. Let's assume that Salesforce developer. I'm creating a position Salesforce developer. Salesforce developer, number of vacancies is 4. Position status is just open, so it is a new. This position is open in Hyderabad as well as it is open in Bangalore. Now, if you want to select a multiple options, now what you can do is you can select, hold the control key. If you are using a Windows, if you are using a Mac, hold the command key and then select this and then choose it. Now you can select it back. Now, if it is a mandatory, once you have moved it, you cannot bring everything back. At least one value should be there here. If you try to remove it, it will say that at least one option should be selected, right? So you need to move at least one option here because it is a mandatory. Hyderabad and Bangalore location, this position is open. HR email ID. Let's give a Samskar ID @gmail.com. HR contact, I'm giving some number here. Open date, it's getting open by next week, by Monday onwards. By Monday onwards. Milestone, next month till 9th. Till 9th. Minimum pay, what is the minimum pay? Let's say that we have given 5 digits dot some 2 digits. Now this is the 1 lakh, some number I am giving it. So maximum it can go to 2. Okay, so maximum it can go to 2 lakhs. Passport required, yes, it is required. Travel required, might not be required. Skills position, passport might not required. Let's say that passport is also might not required. This is a Salesforce developer position. For Salesforce developer position, candidate should be aware of admin, right? And then lightning flows, Apex, lightning aura, and LWC. These are the requirement. This is the requirement. Now let's say here, let me search in the Google. Salesforce position in India. Salesforce jobs in India, Salesforce developer jobs in India. Now let's go to the 100 more jobs. Now let's say here, I'll get some details. Salesforce developer, right? So they are saying that Salesforce developer, Miracle software. Now here we have some information. Let's take a 4+ years of experience. Now I'm going to paste the details here. Click on save. So minimum pay, what it is saying that it is a range should be outside of the valid range. What is a valid range? We have a 5 digits. Click on it, save. Now this is the record is created. That's how the record is created. Now this record is giving me the information about the custom page layout. Now I can see here position status and number of vacancies here, interview location is here, and then location is here. Now I can see that it has a new page layout. What are the custom page layout is there? Custom page layout is added here. Custom page layout is added. Now, in case if you wanted to confirm what is the page layout that you have. If it is a classic, you can confirm it. Let's go to the classic. Switch to the classic. Now in the switch to classic, now let me open the position record. Now this is the Salesforce developer is the record that we have created in the position. Now here you will see there is a 1 arrow mark which will be coming for you, which is a force.com, which is force.com. Is everybody able to see? There is a something force.com. So in the classic, you will be able to see force.com. Here you have a something called edit layout. Edit layout. If you click on edit layout, it will go to the layout that is assigned on the user interface. Now you can see here the layout which is assigned here is custom position layout. Custom position layout. So in the custom position layout, in the custom position layout, you can see the details here. Now here you have you can identify what is the layout that is being assigned to the page layout. From the classic, you can click on this post.com and you can go to that icon which is called as a edit page layout. If you go to the edit page layout, you can see that custom position layout. Now, this page layout is only specific to the fields, how you wanted to organize the fields into the page. Do you want to show all the fields in the same information, or do you want to divide that fields into the different section? But this cannot handle the tab. You cannot create a multiple tabs here. This is only the page layout this is going to give you how can you arrange the fields in a proper way so that user can understand whenever they are creating a record in the user interface, they can create a record. So you cannot divide this into the multiple tabs. Here one tab, position details, another tab, travel details, and like that itself is not available. Basically, this is a classic view. The page layout is a classic view. In the classic view, how you are going to display? Do you have a different tabs? You do not have a different tabs. In the classic view, do you have a different tabs? You can create it. You cannot. So page layout is basically, if you observe the page layout is classic view. Though you are opening in the Lightning, but you can see here the option, the way of it is displaying, it is similar to the classic view. It does not have a tab. So you cannot make it as a tab wise. So here, what do you mean by multiple section? How can we show in single page? Are we not showing in the single page right now? Are we not showing the multiple sections in the single page? Then what is your question? So these are the different sections which are available. Now this is the page layout you can identify from the classic by clicking on this force.com, and you can go to the edit layout and then you can show that. Now, how about in the Lightning? How can you identify in the Lightning whenever you are working on certain page? But I have okay, so his 15 sections are not showing right now. These 15 sections are not showing right now. Sunil. Okay, try it and let me know what is happening. Now here in the Lightning, so you have a multiple options are there, right? So you have a multiple options are there. But how will you know that which custom page layout it is using it? How can you identify? So here, click on a setup icon. There is an option which is available, edit page. So you have an option called edit page. Click on this edit page. When you click on this edit page, it will take you to the Flexi page, Lightning App Builder. It will take you to the Lightning App Builder, which is also called as a Flexi page. Now here, once you land onto this page, just click on this section, the detail section, whatever the detail section is there, just click on this detail section. Once you click on the detail section, here you will see that there is a assign page layouts. Use this assign page layout. So whatever this assign page layout is there, custom page layout, right? Now here you have a options custom page layout. By viewing this, whatever you can see here previewed is nothing but current page layout you are viewing it. Previewed is nothing but current page layout you are viewing it. If it doesn't say previewed, these are the different page layouts which are available in the object. These are the different page layouts which are available in the object. Now, currently, which one we are previewing it? Custom pay position layout. How did I came to this screen? I went to the position object. In the position object, I have opened one of the record. I opened one of the record. When I opened one of the record, click on this setup icon. Here you see one of the option called edit page. One of the option called edit page. When you click on that edit page, when you click on this edit page, what will happen? It will be redirected to the Lightning App Builder. It will be redirected to the Lightning App Builder. So Lightning App Builder, this entire screen is also called as a flexi page. This is a flexi page. Now here, if you highlight this detail section, right, then you can see here custom position layout, right? So this is the information that you can see here, which page layout is there. Now rest other information, we will see what are the each option step by step by going into the different scenario. But right now, just focus on the assign page layout. So here we have a assign page layout, right? By looking at that, you can understand that which page layout it is used in the Lightning. Which page layout you can use in Lightning. Now here, these are the options which are available. These are the options which are available here, right? Now, one of the interview questions they will ask is, what are the different ways you can make the field mandatory? So one way is you can directly go to the fields. You can directly go to the fields and you can click on it, enter, edit, or while creating the field, you can specify that this field is mandatory. You can specify this field is mandatory. This is one option, right? If you check it, it is mandatory. If you check uncheck, it is not mandatory. For example, this is the one way. Another way is you can go to the page layout. You can go to the page layout. In the page layout, if you specify custom page layout, custom position page layout. So custom position layout, go to that. In that, wherever the HR email ID is there, wherever the HR email ID is there, no, I did not make it as a mandatory. HR email ID. It is not a required. Now, for example, I'll not take minimum pay. Okay, for example, I have a minimum pay. Minimum pay, if you want to make it required from the page layout. So what you have to do is you need to click on this something called properties, not the remove, properties. There are two icons are there here. One is a remove icon, one is the properties. So click on this properties icon. So when you click on this properties icon, you will be able to see the screen which is called as a field property. So here you can say here it is a required. Here you can say required. So when you say required, the minimum pay will be required on this page layout. On this page layout, it is required. Now, if I go to the edit, now here it says that minimum pay is required, and this is the help text, right? It is saying that minimum pay is required. Now click on a save, click on save. Now here minimum pay is coming as a required. But if I take another page layout, that page layout does not have a minimum pay required. If any of the profile is using this page layout, they do not have a required field minimum pay. That means you can make a required from the page layout to only specific page layout with which are the page layout we wanted, not entire org mandatory, not entire org wide mandatory. This is only specific to the page layout. We can make the field as a mandatory. We can make the field as a mandatory. Any questions? Page layout. So far, whatever we have discussed.
Ma'am, can I ask one thing? The previous one which I asked, right, the 15 sections can we create, right? I mean, this is basically the user interface will be like, we have, I mean, more clarity, right? I mean, if I tabs, it won't be work like you said, right? If you create more n number of tabs, it won't work. So how you can, I mean, how you can achieve this? I mean, if I have like 15 sections, I cannot show it in the one page. Okay, so
First of all,
how,
in the
I
real
mean,
time, we do not have a 15 sections. If you have a 15 section, for example, you are filling the passport form. If you have a 50 sections, will anybody fill the form? They will take at least 5 days to fill the form. At least 5 days to fill the form. But we do not want that kind of a pages, right? User interfaces, we do not want that kind of a information. We just want the information where the user can spend the less time and fill the details, right? So that is the first thing. So we do not have a 15 sections at all, but if you have it, it will be displayed in the page layout. So try it and let me know what is happening. In the real time, we do not have it. And first of all, we have not completed yet the complete concept. Now, how to display it? What will happen if I have a more information that is not yet completed? Basically, first of all, we do not have those much of, if you take a vehicle information also, if you take a standard Salesforce also, nowhere I have not seen the 15 sections, because Lightning is, in the Lightning, we have a, whenever we go, we have a different tabs, we can use it, right? We cannot display everything in one section, right? This is the Lightning of this tab creation that we have not come to that point yet to discuss, right? So we have discussed only the thing page layout. How can we use it? Now, how to create this tab, that is another point of it.
got it.
So in the production, in the org, so you will have something called help text, right? This is a notification, Salesforce assistants. Okay. So in the real time, you will see something called a help text. Let me show you that. So here you can see that these are the details. You can log it here by logging into your Trailhead or a Trailblazer or a Marketing Cloud. If you have a partner community access, you can log into the partner community, Marketing Cloud or a Trailblazer.me, which are the login you have it, you can try it. And then click here contact support or click on the my cases. When you click on a my cases, initially it will be null. Then you can click on the new button. Then you will click on the new button, then you can create it. Now page layout is, each page layout contain the below two models: edit mode, edit layout, edit page, and detail mode, detail layout, detail page. Now edit mode is nothing but when you are editing it, right? Edit mode is when you are editing the record, that's how it will be displayed in the edit mode. Edit button or a new button, those are called as a edit mode, edit layout, edit page. Detail layout is nothing but once you click on a save button, it will be redirected to the detail page. It will be redirected to the detail page. So that page is called as a detail mode or a detail layout or a detailed page. So Salesforce developers or an admin can customize the page layout provided by the Salesforce based on the business requirement. Right now we have done it. So can make the required read-only from the page layout, can customize the related list visible on the page layout. So this is what we have seen so far. Related list, we will see it next. So that's all for today.